Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Fantasyland Megapark. In the last episode, I worked on the entrance area of the park, and today I want to focus on the middle island. Now, what do I want to do on the middle island? Basically, I want this to become a big medieval town with a big wall around it. I also want to have a castle, and since we're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, the middle island will also have several attractions. Now, in today's episode, I want to make a bridge connecting to the central island. And I'm not going to do the entire island here, since it's all a bit too much for one episode, but I do want to make some nice progress today. Now, before I do any work, I think it's time to name several of these handymen after people who commented on the last video. Alright, here you can see the new additions to the Handyman squad. Now, it looks like these handymen are all helping out on the farm, which is nice. And if you also want to become a handyman in the park, maybe feed the horses or shovel some manure, just leave a nice comment on this video and you may get picked to come and help out in the park. Alright, to start off, let's make a nice bridge connecting to the central island. Alright, I've created the bridge that links this area to the central island. Now, I can never stop myself, so after the recording ended, I actually continued tinkering with the bridge a little bit more. So instead of these street lights, I actually added a little structure here on the side of the bridge. To add these lamps, which look a little bit more magical. And I also added another pillar here in the center. Just to make the bridge look a little bit more structurally sound. And I think it also looks a bit nicer like this. Now, I also added this gate here on the central island. And also part of the wall which is going to go around this town. Now, I'm going to extend this wall all around the town. I'm also going to make several towers. And I'm already going to prepare extra gates for all the other lands that will be linked to the central island. Now, here on top, I also added several more of these flags. I just always love adding them. They're a little bit longer than these ones. I think they look really nice on top of these towers. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is add a wall all around the rest of this island. Alright, the central island now has a wall around it. Now this represents several hours of work. Especially these diagonal sections were really tricky to do, and I actually redid them several times. Especially these gates were really difficult to make. But in the end I did manage to create something which I'm happy with. Now for some of these gates I made them all by hand. But for some of the other ones, which were basically copies, in the end I decided to just do them with the scenery manager. So that's why I didn't see all of them in the time lapse. It just saved me a lot of work to do it that way. Now, as you can see here, we have these normal walls, and for these diagonal sections I had to come up with something else. So I actually just put some kind of track pieces here, just to make it look sort of similar at least. But yeah, in the end I'm super happy with how it turned out. Also these flags on top of these towers, I think they're just a cherry on the cake. Now I also already made some temporary bridges to all these different islands. Of course, I will later yeah, make all of these bridges look nice. But that will be something for the next episodes. Now, the last thing that I want to do in this town is make a few attractions. We can probably add a coaster and probably also a few other rides in the park. I'll start by building a nice coaster in this area. Alright, what you see here is several hours worth of building. Now, the main reason it took me so long was that I actually rebuilt this coaster 4 or 5 times in different locations, different shapes, until I finally got something that I liked. It was quite a struggle, but here you can see the coaster Witchback. Now, on first glance, it may look like a normal coaster, but yeah, it's actually a nod to the real existing coaster called Switchback, which is in a park somewhere in America. So, first the coaster just travels forwards until it reaches this spike here. Then it travels through the track backwards, and when it arrives at this track the second time, it actually switches to this track on the side and goes back to the station. Now, it's quite a complicated trickery involved here. Maybe you can see it if I change this ride to the dinghy slide. But yeah, coaster travels backwards, goes onto this track, and only then it stays on this track and then it moves out. This explanation probably won't help you build it, but that's how it works. Alright, and then here on the side I decided to make this triplet of drop towers. So this also involves quite a complicated shoestring, which you can see here underground. And I used these air-powered vertical coasters, so I could stick all these vehicles on the side of this tower. But yeah, this also turned out to be pretty complicated to do, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really cool to see these vehicles slowly rise up the tower and then drop down again. Now, to finish off this episode, I'm going to add one more ride here in the corner, and I'm just going to add a little bit of decoration here in the area. Alright, I filled out this little corner here, and the ride that I decided to build here is one of these magic carpet rides. Now, at first I wanted to do some kind of shoestring, but I thought this ride would fit here perfectly. Now, I think it came out really nice. I decided to give it some sort of wizard theme, so the ride's called Alchemist, and you can see all these kind of potions brewing here. Even one of these witches brew soup stalls, because I thought it would be fitting here. Also, a few more market stalls and a lot of these medieval houses in the background just to fill it up. Now, here's also something which I'm pretty proud of. You can see a few of these umbrellas here, which I made with these spire pieces. Also some mini golf under it, and some of these lily pad stables. And yeah, I thought this was a really nice find. Now, and then over here, I made this merry-go-round. Now, a pretty standard merry-go-round. I did spend a little bit longer on the roof than I usually do, and I think it came out super nice. And of course, one of these flags on top, just to finish it off. And yeah, with that, I think for today I've done enough on this park. I already said it, but this was many hours of work, and yeah, I'm super happy with how everything here turned out. Alright, we already have a lot of entertainers in the park, so I think now is a good time to name several more of them after my patrons. Alright, here you can see the entertainers who have been named after patrons. Mostly it's these entertainers which sit in these market stalls, praising their wares, and a few at this archery course. But yeah, thank you so much for the support, it's truly appreciated, and I really hope you enjoy your spot in the park. And when the park's finished, I'll put it up for download and then you can check it out. If you're watching this, you also want to support my channel, you can find a link to my Patreon channel in the video description. Okay, let's do a quick recap of everything that has been built in this episode. I started off with this bridge leading to the central island. And after that I created these gates and this wall all around the central island. Really proud of this wall, I think it turned out great. After that I built this wooden roller coaster which has a switchback track. I added this drop tower over here which is on the same support pole as the spike of the wooden coaster. And I added these extra rides over here. Right, I think the park's already starting to look great, and I cannot wait to continue working on this central island in the next episode. Alright, hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button, it will really help out my channel. I would love to hear in the comments what you think of the additions of today. And if you want to see more of these videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. I will finish off this episode with a ride on the wooden coaster. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.